Good morning. Throughout the days of Elul, clearly as we get closer to Rosh Hashanah, there's so much of a focus on our neshama, on the spiritual piece, on the godly piece. So then the question becomes, what is our relationship to the material world, to our physicality, to our needs? And this is something that's addressed in Hasidic thought. By introduction, Rosh Hashanah, when we coronate Hashem over the world, is the anniversary of when Hashem created man. The first man, Adam, and the first woman, Eve. And so, on the 25th of Elul is when God was the first day of creation. That's when God created light. And on the 6th day of creation, which is the Rosh Hashanah, that's when God created man. And we find something fascinating, that there's a law in the Torah that it is forbidden to have two animals that are not the same type of animals plowed together. So if you have a slower animal and then you have a quicker animal, it's forbidden to have them plowed together. Why? Because they're both on the different speeds. So if you have, for example, a cow that chews its cud together with an animal that doesn't chew its cud, the commentaries say when the other animal hears the other animal chewing, it feels that the other animal has food that it does not have, and it's going to make it feel, if you could use such a word about an animal, it will feel sad or will feel lacking. Also, sometimes you have a quicker animal and you have a slower animal, and the bull is schlepping the donkey along. So therefore, the Torah says it's forbidden to have these two opposite animals, or two different animals plowing together. But guess what? That is actually what is going on with us, because God tethers a God soul. Okay, God tethers a God soul to an animal soul. So within us we have our physicality, which is our body and our physical needs and our physical wants, and God tethers it together with a God soul, which is greater than an angel, and they sort of work together and they're schlepping together. So the question becomes, what are we looking to do Rosh Hashanah time? Are we looking to quiet down the animal soul? Are we looking to put down our physicality, ignore it? And a very interesting story from the Talmud, which we actually read about. It's a story from the prophets, which is discussed at great length in the Talmud. Takes place on Rosh Hashanah. And so there's a woman. Her name is Chana. She's a prophetess, and she is not blessed with a child. And in the book of Samuel tells us that she goes up to the Temple Mount. In those days, in the temple, they did not have prayer the way we have it today. Today we verbalize our prayer. We say the words. We actually say the words with our lips. In those days, in the days of the temple, there were certain offerings and sacrifices that they did in the temple, and there was some sort of meditation that they would do. But prayers, the way we have it today, did not exist. And actually, Chana, what she does is she goes up to the Temple Mount and she actually starts praying, and she prays to God verbally with her. And she says that God, and she says exactly what she wants. Not only does she tell God that she wants a son, but she says exactly what she wants. She sort of made to order. I want a son. He's not too tall, not too short, not too foolish, and interesting, not too smart. An interesting Yiddish mama observation. Sometimes in Yiddish, someone's it's called an uber chacham. That means someone's a smart aleck, too smart. She wants someone who's just right, and she asks her for exactly what she needs. And the high priest, then Eli, sees this woman, and she's moving her lips, and he thought that she was intoxicated. He thought she was drunk, and so he tells her, "Excuse me, ma'am, you can't come on the Temple Mount. No one is forbidden to come on the Temple Mount intoxicated." And she says, "No, I'm actually intoxicated with grief. I want a child." and he's very taken aback. But he realizes that this woman is on, even though he was the high priest, is on a much greater level than he is. And what she's telling him is that we're not just here to pray for spiritual things, but we need material. The material is the fuel in order to make this world a dwelling place for God, in order to make this world a good place. So we need the fuel. We need on Rosh Hashanah, in the Avinu Malkeinu's, our Father, our King, we ask for fill our storehouses with plenty. We ask for physical things, material things, not for selfish reasons, but we ask for these, for the material in order that we can have the means to help others, in order to have the means to glorify Hashem in this world, in order to live life and without any worry. And so, when Rosh Hashanah comes around, the enduring lesson of Chana is that it's not that we're trying to be more monastic or trying to be more spiritual, but in the traditional classical sense of the word, but more so that we're looking to have Hashem Echad. When we say God is one, to unify the material with the spiritual, to unify our godly soul with our more physical soul, and to somehow bring this all together. And that is the purpose of creation, in order not only to be spiritual, but to make this very world, not just that to be Jews in the synagogue when we're Jews the verb, not only Jews, we're always Jews the noun, but Jews the verb, bring Judaism into the world, not just when we're in a spiritual setting, when we're in synagogue, or when we're in a yeshiva or some sort of spiritual setting, but to bring God and godliness into the workplace, into our home, into every relationship that we have. And that is the enduring lesson of Rosh Hashanah, to make this world, this physical world, a dwelling place for God through sustenance, through means. And that's why in Rosh Hashanah there are so many prayers for physical, material needs. And may Hashem bless us now and always with everything we need, not only spiritually, but also physically.